Our agency, the First Responding Officers, or FRO, is comprised of 1,000 highly skilled individuals that are ready to serve the community. This group blends together the best of police officers and emergency medical technicians. Our agency will be staffed with officers trained as both police officers and emergency medical technicians. Working hand in hand with local and state governments, our jurisdiction is full and complete to this state. This will alleviate some of the burden from our local and state police officers as well as emergency medical technicians. On the nonprofit side, there are many groups you can compare ours to. When talking about the private sector, you come across many privately owned and operated emergency medical services, but mainly transportation. We'll be working with our state and local governments to be deployed where we are needed most. Our mission would have three main points. First, to have dual trained police officers and emergency medical technicians. These officers could work in your department and be called at a moment's notice as needed. Second, with the utilization of better trained emergency medical technicians, the waiting around for police officers to clear scene, so proper medical treatment would be a thing of the past. Third, officers could provide curtail support to our state and local police officers by offering backup. They could safely administer emergency treatment to any fallen officers. We're comprised of a board of directors of one chairman, a set of managers, our community outreach officer, our group of supervisors, and finally our officers. The goal of the structure is always keep information flowing to those in need and to keep information that's being shared correct and up to date. Our board of directors, our fellow officers, and emergency medical technicians have been in their respective fields for over 20 years. On this board is our chairman, whose main responsibility is to be a spokesman within our agency. The managers of our agency are the tunnel for information between the board and supervisors, who also relay information to the rest of the agency. These managers act as assistants for our community outreach officer. The goal of our officers is to maintain all-line communication for the community and media regarding concerns about our agency and our officers. Mainly, these supervisors will be gathering information from board directors and managers to pass down to the officers. The goals are to share support local and state law enforcement, provide support to the state's emergency medical technicians, provide security at events that have threats, and be able to mobilize within a reasonable time frame when a mass casualty event or terrorist attack occurs. One of the goals of our agency is to fully support our state and local police agencies with fully trained officers complete with training expertise in security. The goal of the agency is to assess any threats made against targets or events happening locally and, if needed, provide additional security to maintain order and peace. Mobilization is a key factor in talking about responding to a mass casualty event. Our agency's goal is to be able to mobilize our officers and get to our destination within an hour's time. These rapid response will allow our officers to get in on the ground level and assess the situation before confusion and misinformation begin. Making sure that every new hire is a proper fit for a job, that promotions are handed out to those deserving, evaluations are being done fairly, grievances are dealt with, and that discrimination is reported and dealt with are top concerns for our Human Resources Department. Much like any police department, our agency will run a thorough background check on any potential hires to make sure everything on the application is true and that we're only hiring the most trustworthy candidates. Our Human Resources Department fully trained update in all EEOC laws and guidelines to make sure our promotions are done fairly. One thing, our agency is not tolerant discrimination of any kind. Any hiring promotions or evaluations are done without bias. The current legal environment at our agency is working the same as our state and local police agencies. All federal and state laws that apply to the police agencies and emergency medical agencies apply to us. The political environment is at divided states, some wanting our services while others think that in our agency for security is unnecessary. Reports claim that SWAT-type groups police departments are seen as militarizing and is counterproductive to the mission at hand. This knowledge, my job is to show the community our agency is not a military operation. The current political and legal environment of our agency is seemingly hostile. Hopefully, with proper information, the work of our community outreach officer, we can show that we're all in this together and that helping our community when they need us is our only goal. The American economy has been difficult to work with if you're a police department or emergency medical department. The funding just isn't there for more officers, more training, and more equipment. This will affect the efficiency of our department and require the utmost care when it comes to spending. As an on-call disaster response agency, having a good risk assessment plan in place is crucial to our operation. Having interdepartment agents can cause a headache and sometimes can cause leak of information. Our risk assessment plan, for instance, is to evaluate information is given at every level and to whom. Whenever you're responding to a hazardous scene, the potential for department loss is there. Our plan of operation is to carefully assess every situation we put our agents into, from training to active scenes. Being undermanned in such a dangerous situation can lead to loss of life for the community and this agency. Our plan is always have the most up-to-date information on active scenes that we're deploying our agents to, and have a contingency plan and backup ready if the need arises. Leadership is something that every member of this department must exhibit. As leader of this agency, though, I will be actively listening to every member of the agency. I'll use the best of my body language, reading skills, and verbal communication to better understand and communicate with my followers. Mostly being able to show each agent that they're doing a part to make their community a better place and creating a relaxing, motivating environment for our employees to work with will be my focus. I will base all decisions I make for this department off of knowledge of what is serving my community and what I can do to further keep them safe. Starting with the desired outcome of a safe and healthy community, I'll evaluate every situation that requires my decision making. From there, I'll gather information from those form and sources and gather their opinions. After analyzing all this information and my own opinion, I'll run some simulations to figure out if the desired outcome is one that works for this department. Being able to fully and successfully communicate with your employees will lead to a happy and healthy business relationship. First type of agency, I feel the best type of communication used by everyone would be assertive communication. Being an assertive communicator needs to be very careful when talking, using I to take ownership of my statements. Eye contact is also very important so I can read the person's body language and assess if there can be any miscommunications. As a leader of this agency, being able to say no to situations I feel are not right or appropriate for our agency, help other agencies and people understand better what our mission is. Having the community support and understanding will be the key to success of this agency. That means being involved in several aspects of the community, such as being part of the community's development, community safety, and the community's health. By having our agents already a part of our law enforcement and emergency medicine departments, we'll have a good foot in doors this community growing and developing safely. Safety is this agency's top concern. Involving the community in their own safety is the best way to keep information passing from citizens to agents. By being involved in town meetings, community safety boards, and police and citizen police groups, it helps our agents become aware of possible dangers before they impact our community.